Hey guys, so back here again with one of these videos. Thought I'd just give you a quick update on a few things. First thing we're going to talk about today is Rivian's IPO. I'm sure you've heard a little bit about it. I'll give you my 2 cents on the issue in a moment. The second thing is going to be the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, might be out of a job. He might not, he's probably not, but we're going to quickly address that quickly. And then I'm going to give you just a couple thoughts on YouTube's dislike button being removed. I feel like my audience might not be as clued up on this as some others because we tend to be a little bit less involved with YouTube, but either way, I'll just give you my 2 cents on that, explain why I think it's happening. Right, so if we get right into it, Jerome Powell might be out of a job, but the chances are he's probably going to keep it. I think the odds right now are looking at about 75% he gets reappointed as Federal Reserve Chairman. In my opinion, there's not really much point in replacing him, especially not when the alternative is Brainerd. She's even more dovish. The administration, the media, the government, the world right now seems to have kind of caught on to the fact that inflation is quite serious, it needs to be tackled. Replacing Powell with Brainerd would probably be disastrous. It would mean inflation's going to keep getting worse. I wouldn't be surprised if she wound back on tapering, stopped tapering, kept the Federal Reserve buying of assets, and held off on raising interest rates for even longer. But she's probably not going to get in because no one's quite that stupid. The bubble would continue to inflate if Powell goes out of a job. Interest rates would stay lower for longer. Inflation would continue to get higher. So it is something that we should be a little bit concerned about, but we should find out in just a few days what's actually going to happen. And by the looks of it, it seems like Powell's going to stay in. And I know, colour me surprised when I'm asking for Powell to be Federal Reserve Chairman. It's a bit off-brand for me, isn't it? But there is no better alternative. Brainerd is a far, far worse person for the economy. So hopefully, and probably, in a week's time, we will have heard that Powell is going to be reappointed. And if so, then we can all breathe a big sigh of relief. Now on to Rivian, obviously, very big IPO, the biggest IPO in 2021, it appears, so by no means a small deal at all. So it's got backing from Amazon, it's got some cool trucks, it's got some big deals in the pipeline, so it was always going to have a hefty valuation. But I think at the time of recording this, it's sitting at about $120 billion, which is ridiculous. It means it's the second most valuable car company in the US. Yes, so it's a little bit worrying to see it do so well value wise when it has no revenue, no profit. They've made something like 150 cars. That's a tiny amount, and that's a pretty ridiculous value to be attributed to it. It's kind of a sign that yes, we are in a bubble. Even looking at like forward PS ratios or PE ratios, it's still grossly overvalued. It's a good company, it's an awful investment. The return on actual money invested, if you look at if they could provide a dividend yield even 5 years into the future, from what you're buying today, it's still going to be absolute pennies on the dollar. It's not going to be worth it. It's a speculation bid. It's an EV stock, so we're not too surprised, but I thought maybe after Lordstown Motors practically blew up, and after Nikola and things like that, maybe this space would be a little bit less hypey, but unfortunately that doesn't really seem to be the case. How much is the company actually worth? Well, again, it's hard to say. I think on hand they have about $17 billion of cash thanks to investment, so bare minimum they're worth $17 billion. They don't really have any profit or revenue again, so what else could they be worth? Well, they've got a good product. That truck does look very cool. People do seem to like it. They have a brand. People do know of the brand. Nothing as strong as Tesla or Ford or something, but there is some value behind that. And then they've got support from some pretty big names as well, like Amazon. So maybe throw in an extra $3 billion for that if you're being generous, and a $20 billion valuation seems fair in my mind. 120 is just ridiculous. And I saw one video by a guy called Hamish Hodder, great channel. He likened it to Yahoo in the .com bubble, and some people are gonna, call him a grandpa, say he doesn't understand tech companies, he doesn't understand how EV companies should be valued. But the truth is, it might take a year or so, or maybe even longer, maybe 5 years, for him to be proven right. But he will be proven right. The company could do really, really well in the future, but the chances of it doing so well as to warrant a $120 billion valuation are so slim. They're up against giants in the world. Even if you're an EV fanboy, then you probably quite like the Tesla Cybertruck, and so they're going to be fighting against them. The Ford F-150 Lightning looks awesome as well. So this is going to be a really tough ride for Rivian. I'm sure you're not surprised when I say that I won't be putting my money anywhere near this company at this point in time. Now that's most of the finance stuff sort of sorted. I'm going to talk just a little bit about the YouTube dislike button and YouTube removing it, and what I think about the whole thing. So for anyone who isn't aware, the other day YouTube came out with a video where they explained that they were going to be not deleting the dislike button, but hiding the ratios of likes to dislikes on people's videos. Now they said they did this to reduce harassment, to help creators who struggle with anxiety from getting too many dislikes, and to stop targeted raids by certain communities who attack a video, dislike it into oblivion, and use that to show that they disagree with the creator or something they said or the content of the video or something like that. Now that's kind of hard to believe, because if you are a creator who's suffering from lots of dislikes, well, first of all, there's probably a reason behind it, and maybe people should be able to say that they dislike your content, and you shouldn't be able to hide that they dislike your content. What this does is it allows creators who may be putting out, I don't know, problematic content to hide from the reaction that they might be getting. It won't actually do anything to help people's anxiety, because the dislike buttons will still be available to the creators themselves. So they'll still know how many dislikes they're getting. If they really are getting anxious about their dislikes, this isn't going to fix that problem. Prior to this, there was also a toggle on and off switch where you could hide the dislike ratio from your people. So if you were a channel that was being bombarded with dislikes because of something you did, maybe, I know there was a watch channel a couple years ago who was caught scamming people by selling them fake watches for full retail price, costing them thousands of dollars. They got caught out, and they wanted to keep making YouTube videos because that's how they made their money. So they just turned off the like and dislike ratio and all the comments, and now they make loads and loads of videos, and none of their new viewers know what's going on or what he did in the past. Call me mean, but I don't think that's right. I think people should know what he did in the past, but YouTube already gave him the tools to hide from that. This will make it so that he won't even have the option to be forthcoming and outright about it. He will almost be encouraged to hide what he did in the past. I don't like that at all. This is really a problem that didn't need fixing from the user or creator point of view. YouTube are making this out to be supporting creators, but it isn't about that at all. It's about one thing: YouTube's $1 billion company owned by a $1 billion company, a $1 trillion company. It's about money, of course it is. Negativity and negative reactions push advertisers away. No one wants to advertise on a video that gets a lot of negative attention. Of course they don't. So what's YouTube's solution to ensure that they can monetize these videos that get negative attention to their fullest extent? Well, they hide that negative attention. They hide the dislikes so that people can't see it, so that advertisers don't necessarily know that the videos they're advertising on are getting lots of negative attention, so they pay higher rates. So from a purely selfish point of view, it's actually, for the most part, good for creators. It will probably push our rates up a little bit. Not much, and it's probably only really going to affect people who get lots and lots of dislikes, and I'm not one of those people, so it isn't really going to benefit me. But there will be some out there who do benefit from this. From a user point of view, it's bad across the board, and there isn't really a silver lining. A couple of weeks ago, I was replacing the headlight in my car, and so I went on YouTube and I searched the car model, its year, and replace headlight, and I got 5 videos which purported to show how to replace a headlight in 5 minutes. I click on the first one and it has 10 likes and 80 dislikes, and I instantly click off because I instantly know it's not a good video. People who have watched it in the past didn't find it helpful or useful, so they disliked it to let other people know that it wasn't helpful or useful. That's the perfect use of the dislike button, but in the future, that's not going to be a thing. I'll just have to watch the entire 5-minute video myself and find out that it doesn't work, it's a bad video and it's not helpful. That's not great from a user experience. YouTube counter this argument by saying that actually videos with loads and loads of dislikes don't get viewed less than normal videos with lots of likes, and that's not really the case. They've just sort of used statistics to support their argument that the old adage, statistics don't lie but statisticians do, yeah, that's at play here. YouTube's looking at videos that have 10,000 dislikes, and people see that and they see a video by, I don't know, Jeffree Star with 10,000 dislikes, and they're going to click on it and they're going to watch the whole thing to see why people are disliking. That's not the same as a small channel putting out crap content and getting dislikes. That will impact watch time on those ones, but not the big ones. Or, you know, if there's community rivalry between, I don't know, Ethan Klein and someone else, well, viewers from H3H3 are going to go and watch those other channels and leave dislikes, but they're still going to watch the content because they're curious to see what's actually going on in the video. So yeah, YouTube are sort of playing the numbers, lying to us a little bit here. It's not a great look for them, but they're a business, they're there to make money. This will probably increase their revenues and their profits, so I'm not surprised it's happening. I'm a little disappointed and a bit annoyed, but it's happening. There's no point trying to fight it. It's not going to change. Let's get used to it. Finally, just going to give you guys, regular viewers, a quick update on myself, the channel. I moved house on Monday, so it's been pretty hectic for me. Been getting my office set up, obviously unpacking boxes, constantly cleaning, trying to get everything sorted, and it is almost ready. I should have a couple normal videos out, you know, in my office, sat down talking to you guys with a script in just a few days. New backdrop, new office, hopefully it looks a little better. The last one was a bit unprofessional, but it was just my old office. It wasn't designed for content creation at all in any way, but this one is, so I'm hoping it's much better. For the patrons who are watching, I've reached 100 patrons on my Patreon, which is brilliant. Thank you guys so much for the support. It is really brilliant, and we're actually building a pretty incredible community. I'm really proud of how it's coming along. And now that we've got 100 patrons, that means I'm going to be hiring my video editor. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be getting a couple videos made by a few different video editors. We'll find out who's good, who makes content that we like. Give your feedback on those videos. Let me know what bits you like, maybe certain editing techniques you like, some that you don't. And in a couple of weeks time, I'll pick one and they'll do all my videos, and hopefully it'll allow me to put out a lot more content. For my second channel as well, Stoic Crypto, I haven't been as consistent getting content out on there. When I'm busy, it's the first thing that I slack on, because obviously it's the second channel. It's nowhere near as big as Stoic Finance, so it doesn't get as much attention. But when I get this new editor, when I have more time to write videos, to put them together, well, there's going to be more content on the second channel as well, Stoic Crypto, so make sure to check that out. For everything else, there's obviously affiliate links in the bottom if you want to check them out. Thanks for watching again, thanks for coming back. Stay stoic, until next time.